Alright, my boys, we back with another Xenoblade 2 video. Well, actually, my first Xenoblade 2 video. This video's like 2 years late, but it's better now than never. But as you saw by the title, this video is going to be, I'm going to be exploring the out of bounds area in Elysium, and we're going to get into the Zohar room, and I'm going to show you all of that. So, but first, to actually clip out of bounds, you have to come to this pillar right here, and you kind of have to just jump at the corner, and eventually you'll clip in. But I'm gonna cut out all these failed attempts, and I'll see y'all when I actually get. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little finicky, but you just kind of have to jump at the corner until you clip in. But once we actually do get in, we come over here and we can clip through the bottom down here to actually get up onto the highway up there. And there's actually a certain part over here on the bridge that you have to run through to actually get down back to the ground. If you keep on running towards the bridge, keep on running down the bridge that way, the collision actually cuts off and you just fall. But you have to go through between those two little rocks, shimmy through there, fall down here, and you'll actually be able to explore down here. Now this area is huge, and it's kind of hard to tell where the collision is at most of the time, but if you stay relatively like near the inbounds area, you won't really have to worry about too much. But I have like fallen through the floor a couple times exploring this area. You know, this highway runs along like a long stretch of land here, so like to get around it onto the other side, you just have to like go under and clip through the bottom of it. Also, the collision here cuts off, so you can see like the skybox, like the ground box. You can see what's under. You can kind of see Earth down there. You can just see the underside of everything. You see the cathedral up there, or the old temple, where it goes down into Klaus's room. Yeah, but for this highway, you kind of just have to run under it until you just clip up through the bottom.
Is it night time already?
The time is now 7 p.m.
And right here, you will see that the model for the old church isn't completely there when you're out of bounds. I guess when you're in, it like shows the inside when you're inside it, but the outside isn't really there, and the collision is gone. I actually had to cut a part out there because I fell back in bounds. So I had to go all the way back to the pillar, clip up through the highway, come all the way back to those rocks, fall through and come all the way back up here to the old church. But now that I'm back over here, past the old church is one of my favorite areas to go to and just look at. And we're headed over there right now. But as you can see off in the distance, this area is absolutely massive. And as far as you can see all the way to the horizon, it's huge. You see all the buildings over here, all of the city isn't actually there. Like, some of it is. A lot of the stuff you see way in the back, those just 2D textures, but there really isn't collision out there. Like, for as big as this area is, just a small part of it has collision you can actually step on. And I'm actually coming up to the edge of the collision for this little area that you'll see in a second. Yeah, as you can see, this hill actually goes out pretty far, and it all ends in this one point right here. If you keep going and fall over the edge, that ground down there doesn't have collision, so you'll just keep on falling, like through the floor and into, you just hit the death plane. But I love just standing here and just looking at this area. Also, Mia's kind of like clipping out of the camera. Her model just kind of disappears. I'm trying to get it to work, but as you can see, like, this area is huge. There's just so much space everywhere, and it would have been cool. I kind of wish to see what it would look like if we actually got to like explore Elysium, as in like green grass everywhere, trees, bird song, water, like the pre-destruction, I guess. But I just really love just exploring this game, especially going out of bounds, the areas we already know about. And this game is just absolutely beautiful. Obviously, it's my favorite game of all time, so I never get bored of it. But I'm actually going back to explore some of the city that we can, that actually does have collision. And there's just this big chunk of time where I'm just running back over there. So if you don't really want to see all that, just skip to 10:38 and you're not really missing anything. And right here, for whatever reason, the ground is actually higher than the collision. Like the collision is actually lower than it appears it should be. And it's, from what I've found out, it's just from that little hill right there. I don't really know what's going on with that. Yeah, these buildings just straight up have no collision at all. So you can just walk right through all of them. They have just no collision. And then you drop down here. But right here,
The
this
time is now 7 a.m.
sometimes you can see it, but other times you can't. The Conduit room, Zohar room, I just prefer to call it the Zohar because that's basically what it is. But that's where we're going to be entering. The Zohar room is that little area right there. But for the Zohar room to actually load into the game, we have to come over here to this pillar right here. And for whatever reason, that triggers it to like load into the game and we can actually get into it. However, my boys, before, look, the fucking buildings are just floating. But before we actually go into the Zohar room, there's this really cool lighting bug that I found. From what I've looked at and researched, I haven't seen anyone else talk about this, but I found this really cool bug. Just go under this hill and you adjust the camera a certain way, the lighting just changes drastically. I don't really know why this happens, but you'll be able to see here in a second. The lighting just changes from like daytime to nighttime. See, like that. And just depending on where you put your camera, you can just change the lighting for whatever reason. It's really cool, and I freaked out when I first found this out. It's like, what the hell is happening? But it's a really cool lighting bug that I haven't really seen anyone else talk about. And now it's the most interesting part of the video that you have all been waiting for. We are going to be stepping into the Zohar room. And for those of you who are confused and don't know what the Zohar is and why I'm calling it the Zohar is like the Conduit, but from Xenosaga. The Xenosaga came first, and that's actually the game Cosmos is from. You see Cosmos behind Nia. But the Conduit is basically just the Zohar, but the Zohar of Xenoblade 2. So if you hear me and others calling it the Zohar, we're talking about the Conduit, because the Conduit is basically just the Zohar. So this part is actually really important. In order to actually get into the Zohar room, we have to do a zombie hover. And a zombie hover is basically like you're in a death state, but you're not actually dead. So it takes away all fall damage. And in order to actually access or pull off the zombie hover, we have to have at least two party members on the field at once. And we have to summon a blade, awaken a blade. And you have to say yes to view the awakening animation. So you have to watch this entire animation, and while you're doing that, hold down all 4 shoulder buttons, so L, R, Z, L, Z, R, down on the D-pad, and X. Hold all of those at the same time while this blade awakening is happening. And then after the game saves and you completely quit out of the menus, you will hear Nia's death scream as if she fell into a death plane, and she will be standing there with 1 HP left. And after that, we'll be able to fall down into the conduit room without taking any fall damage. And once you jump and land, you'll be in this like perpetual falling animation. So to actually cancel that and to start walking again, all you have to do is swap to Dromark, so Nia gets on Dromark, and then swap back off of him, and you'll be able to walk around again.
Readied for departure, Master.
In my opinion, this is the single greatest area in the entire game. This is the most interesting and most fascinating area in the entire game. You can see how utterly massive the Zohar is, and you can come stand under its pedestal, and Nia and Cosmos look like ants compared to this. This thing is absolutely huge. And a lot of the collision here is cut off because we weren't actually ever able to come in here, but every time I come in here, I'm just in awe. I'm just awestruck and just fascinated at how amazing this area is. They actually modeled the Zohar room and gave a collision and actually put it in here, and it's not just a cutscene. It's really cool how we can have the chance to explore this. And shoutouts to all the people that helped even discover this out of bounds and getting into the Zohar room and Zombie Hover and everything that made this possible. This area is beautiful. The Zohar is absolutely massive. This is just great. Yeah, and right here, I just close out the game and reload it, because once you fall down into the little pit where the Zohar is, there's no way to get back out. And there's some stuff on the upper level that I want to show y'all. So to get back up there, I just close out my game, reload the save, and it'll take me back to where I was before I did the zombie hover, because every time you awaken a blade, it auto saves the game. So as you can see, we just appear right back here. But to get back down there, we just have to reactivate zombie hover and continue exploring.
we'll be partners for a long time.
I am at your service.
Readied for departure, Master.
And as you can see here, the Zohar room isn't like deep under the map or anything. It's actually right here behind Klaus's room. So when you go down to meet Klaus, the big wall he opens behind him, that just shows the Zohar room. It opens up into the Zohar room right here. And it's really cool. It's fully connected to the map and everything. But right over here next to Klaus's room, you can see that little alcove right there. That's actually the room that Klaus and Galea were in at the cutscene at the beginning of chapter 10, where it shows Klaus resetting the universe with the Zohar. This is the little room that they were in while that was playing, and I never had no idea it was even here until I explored it. But this is the little room where, and this is the dashboard that Klaus used to reset the universe, and the events of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 happened. But yeah, as you can see, once you're in here, you're kind of stuck. There's really no way of getting out. This is like a one-way clip. You can jump in through the glass, but you can't really get out. So the only way to get out of here is to either warp away or just close your game and reopen it. But yeah, that's about it. If I find any more interesting areas or stuff out of bounds, I will definitely upload a video on that. But that's going to be the video. I initially wanted to make this video, or this channel, a Xenoblade channel. That's what I tried to do with iceberg videos when I revived my channel. But I want to like make a lot more Xenoblade content, and that be my main focus of the channel. So I'm going to be uploading some Bringer of Chaos challenge runs. Those are going to be fun. And I'm going to make a lot more Xenoblade 2 and Torna content even. So if y'all want to see that, just stay tuned for when that drops. But that's about it. I'm really excited and looking forward to making more Xenoblade content. But with that, stay safe, have a damn good day, be well, and go play some Xenoblade.